world. So we are so blessed to have His Grace Radha Krishna Maharaj with us today. Maharaj is going to speak from Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, 5th chapter, 6th verse. I think I said it correctly. So with that, let us welcome Radha Krishna Maharaj by loudly chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra one time together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Bol. Thank you. Thank the host, Pankaj and Shika. I think I came here last year also, right? Right? No, not last year?
You visited us for 5 minutes last year.
Oh, yeah, but way before that I was here also, no? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, all right. Let's chant. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunadira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Astatara Shishimar His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasabhutale Srimadi Tamal Krishna Goswamini Tinamani. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasabhutale Srimadi Bhaktivedanta Swamini Tinamani. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pasyatya Desatarini. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nasta Preshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki. Hare Krishna. Good morning. Yeah, nice to see all of you again. I think it's been a year, right? Or maybe a little bit more than that, yeah. And it's very nice to see all of you wanting to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. I hope you came to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? And it would be nice, yeah. Thank the hosts again, Shikha and Pankaj, for hosting. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, actually, Grihasthas should always open their house for the purpose of helping others get closer to Krishna. Otherwise, what is the purpose? Everything else is a waste of time. Shrama eva hi kevalam. Yeah. So we should be very conscious about this thing. Otherwise, you will be pursuing things that are temporary and missing out on the eternal. Nityam bhagavata sevaya. So that's why you all should make it a point to do these things. Yeah. All right, so we are looking at Canto 2, the cosmic manifestation. Chapter 5, the cause of all causes, and we are in verse 6. Naham Veda Param Hi Asmin Na Param Na Samam Vibhu Nama Rupa Gunai Bhavyam Sad Asad Kinchit Anyataha Naham Veda Param Hi Asmin Naham Veda Param Yasmin Na Param Na Samam Vibho Nama Rupa Gunair Bhavyam Sadasat Kinchit Anyataha Naham Veda Param Hi Asyam Na Param Na Samam Vibho Nama Rupa Gunair Bhavyam Sadasat Kinchit Anyataha. Maybe one or two of you can chant. Naham Veda Param Yasmin Na Param Na Samam Vibho Nama Rupa Gunai Bhavyam Sarasat Kinchit Anyata. One more man. Naham Veda Param Yasmin Na Param Na Samam Vibho Nama Rupa Gunai Bhavyam Sarasat Kinchit Anyataha. Vaishnavis. Naham Veda Param Yasmin Na Param Na Samam Vibho Nama Rupa Gunai Bhavyam Sarasat Kinchit Anyataha. One more. Naham Veda Param Hyasmin Na Param Na Samam Vibho Nama Rupa Gunair Bhavyam Sadasat Kinchit Anyataha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. We can do word for word. Na, do not. Aham, myself. Veda, no. Param, superior. He, for. Asmin, in this world. Na, neither. Aparam, inferior. Na, nor. Samam, equal. Vibhu, O great one. Nama, name. Rupa, characteristics. Gunai, by qualification. Bhavyam, all that is created. Sat, eternal. Asat, temporary. Kinchit, or anything like that. Anyataha, from any other source. Okay, translation you can read with me. Okay, whatever we can understand by the nomenclature, characteristics, and features of a particular thing, superior, inferior, or equal, eternal or temporary, is not created from any source other than that of your Lordship, thou so great. Okay, purport. Manifested world is full of varieties of created beings in 8,400,000 species of life, and some of them are superior and inferior to others. In human society, the human being is considered to be the superior living being. And among the human beings, there are also different varieties, good, bad, equal, etc. But Narada Muni took for granted that none of them has any source of generation besides his father, Brahmaji. Therefore, he wanted to know all about them from Lord Brahma. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jananjana Shalakaya Chakshursanmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruvaya Namaha Mukam Karati Vachalam Bangam Langete Girim Yadkripatamam Vande Shri Gurum Dina Taranam Paramananda Madhamam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Gododiya Pushpavanto Chitra Sando Tamonuda. Okay. Naham Veda Param Yasmin Na Param Na Samam Vibho Nama Rupa Gunair Bhavyam Sarasat Kinchit Anyataha. Whatever we can understand by the nomenclature, characteristics and features of a particular thing, superior, inferior, or equal, eternal or temporary, is not created from any source other than that of your Lordship, thou so great. So this is Narada Muni. Okay, the beginning of this chapter, Narada Muni is speaking to his father, Brahmaji, and he's asking, I think, 6 questions in the right? Did you all do this, or you just picked a verse for me? So anyway, he's asking this question to Brahma, and he wants to, actually he's praising Brahma to be the creator. He's saying you are the supreme person. It's interesting because Narada is already a devotee of Narayana, and he's asking this question is interesting because he wants to first, I guess, I feel that he wants to also glorify Brahma also, and therefore he's like saying, you are the greatest, you know. And we see later on, if you look carefully, that the Brahma takes a very humble position. And so it's a lessons to be learned. This is very, the verses in this canto, particularly in second canto, they speak about the origin of the universe. You know, mostly people don't know what is the origin, right? And I think most devotees also don't know how the origin is. And therefore it's important for devotees to know how our own creation came about, or our version of creation. Right? Most of you know how the theory of evolution, Darwin's theory of evolution, coming from some cell, one cell or something, and then become a complicated person. No, first become a monkey, then become a human. Right? They have the understanding, yeah. But if we have our understanding and we can back it up with our Shastra, we can always discuss with them in a way that they will have to accept there's something different also. An alternative view of creation also. Not so much as trying to, beat them down to say we are better. No, that's not the goal. The goal is to say that we have our version, you have your version, because you can't even prove your thing. And at least we have a creator that we can accept, and we have no problems with that. We have no qualms about that. We don't need to argue. He's creator, he can do anything. You can't prove this must be this way. Yeah? Even in evolution, they have so many gaps. Probably it's because a gap in their brain also. Yeah. So this is a part of a larger conversation with Brahma. They discuss the origin of the universe, the nature of God, who is God himself, and the relationship between matter and spirit. Although if you think carefully, you will also understand that in the Bhagavad Gita also, all these three things are discussed, but in a very higher level discussion. But in the Bhagavatam, the Vyasadeva goes into deeper understanding. So to give us a concrete basis or to stand on and then speak very strongly, this is how creation is all about. So I would say Canto 2 is one of the most philosophical part of the Bhagavatam. Of course, if you go to 11th Canto, it's also very complicated. When the Vedas, the songs of the Veda, when they also discuss, that's also very difficult to understand. Most of you, maybe 90% of devotees, when we read these sections, we may just go over our head, but when we put the effort, you will understand something. Sometimes you may not understand now, but if you continue with your devotion faithfully, years from now, when you hear it, it becomes very, it will appear like a common sense. Oh, that's what he means. Now it's like you are scratching your head to figure out what it is. But years from now, because of your determination and sincerity, the Lord allows you to understand, so that you can make good choices in your life. So the important thing about this whole chapter or the whole canto is that Srila Prabhupada actually brings out the relevant points, gives us relevance for even modern life. And he does it in so clearly, Of course, there are sections where Prabhupada doesn't go into too much because I don't think it's necessary for us. Obviously, the intellect among us will want to know more, but if you study carefully, you will get the answer. But for general population, sometimes too much is too bad also. You get too much knowledge and you become a jnani, and not so much as a bhakta. Srila Prabhupada didn't actually go into too much complicated things. He just said chant, take prasad, then discuss a little philosophy and give others the understanding that there is God and we have a relationship. Actually, that's the most important thing. Everything else is just, the jnana section is just to convince people, mostly. Because people are very stubborn, and they like to argue unnecessarily. Because they don't want to surrender. Right? It's very difficult to give yourself to something and you don't know what's the outcome, But then you look at your own lives, you have been giving yourselves to so many people to control your life, and that is okay because they pay you money. Right? So, but if you analyze carefully, that's not okay actually. Because they are controlling you, right? You go to the doctor wants to prescribe you some medicine, but he's controlled by the pharmaceutical countries, right? All those. And they say, no, this is not controlled by we can't give you yes because the insurance company hasn't said yes. And the insurance company say, well, this costs too much for us to pay the pharmacy and the doctors, so we don't want to cover that, You're not covered, sorry. But we're going to die. That's not our problem. It's your problem. So you can see we allow ourselves to be controlled by others. In a sense, we actually are seeing them as our superior. Right? You're surrendering your whole life, existence, everything. But But when it comes to God, it's like, oh, no, it's too much. Yeah? Cannot surrender to God. So therefore, when you read Prabhupada's book, you find so much relevance for our life. And it's very clear what we should be doing. If we don't make the right choices, the problem is not with the Shastra. The problem is with our own nature. Right? Now, within this canto, the Sri Brahma is the first created being. He comes from Garbho Dakashaya Vishnu's lotus, the firstborn. Hiranyagarbha. Okay? Then Hiranyagarbha means golden lotus. He takes birth from the golden lotus. He's the first born and he's all alone. And if you understand and if you read clearly, if you are alone, you don't know how to do things. You may have gone to college and let's say you're all alone in a hut somewhere. You were kidnapped, put in a house in a middle of where the Canadian forest, and there's nobody around, right? And then what would you do? What will you all do? No phone. Sorry. What will you do? Huh?
No food also.
Food is there. Everything is there, but no cell phone, no TV, no Netflix. Okay. So what would you do? Huh? You're saying chant. Yeah. That's like trigger answers. What would you all do? Most of the time you cry or go crazy. And then you don't even depend on God. So situations like that will actually tell you where you are at. When the circumstances are very difficult, who do you actually turn to? So it's important to know who God is and how He creates and so on. On top of that, it's important to also depend on them. Right? You can cry for your husband, your children, your parents and so on in the middle of the Canadian forest, but no one's going to come, right? Yeah. But who's always with you? The Lord in the heart. So that's why it's very important to have clarity in why we are doing bhakti itself. It's not for the purposes of saying I'm religious. Yeah, you can be. Yeah. Mostly if you are just religious means you're at least hovering in the mode of goodness. That's about it. But bhakti is beyond. Nishtraya guna bhava Arjuna. Krishna is right above that because that's where we can have relationship. We don't get relationship just on a religious platform. It's mostly I'm good, you're good, leave me alone, Right? That's a philosophy nowadays, You see your friends out in the workplace or so-called friends, I won't say they're really acquaintances or colleagues. Right? School also, right? Not really friends. Once you come home, no more. Yeah. So it's important. So we understand Brahma. When he is first alone, then he hears this voice saying, Ta Pa. So he has knowledge. When he is created, he's given full knowledge. We grow up, we have to hear and learn and then go to college and so on. Then we say we have something, Yeah, but he is born with the intelligence and the intellect and given the blessings of the Lord. He understands. Tapa means I have to perform austerity. Yeah. So then he does his austerities. He did go down the lotus to explore where it leads to, but he only saw the Garbhodaka ocean, and it's terrible ocean, So he got frightened, he came back up. Yeah. Now, Brahmaji is an empowered personality. He's a guna avatar in the mode of passion. Doesn't mean he is... he takes on that modes of passion, Rajaguna, to create. So he's also empowered by the Lord. He's actually a Shakti Vesha avatar. So his empowerment is known as Shrishti Shakti. Shrishti means to create. So he's given that ability to create. Yet, if you read further on, if you continue reading in the Bhagavatam, you'll find his striking humility, because he tells Narada, he openly says, actually, I'm not the ultimate creator. Right? If someone comes to you and say, you're so good, you sang so nicely, and you're like, yeah, I am actually so good. No, there's a tendency, no? We feel that way, yeah. Or if someone is singing better than you, you feel, why he's singing better than me? I wish he will, make some mistake. So you feel a little bit better, because it's our nature is contaminated by the modes as well as our enviousness. The envy is a reflection of our envy towards the Supreme Lord, and so we see everyone as a competitor, and so we become envious. So what does it mean for all of you as devotees? When you see someone better, you should actually be grateful you have such a companion or association. You should thank the Lord for giving you that opportunity to have that kind of relationship. And if someone who's not as qualified, then you should then say, wow, I pray for this person to become qualified so that they can do good service to the Supreme Person. That should be the mood of a Vaishnava. Because it is our whole basis of relating to Krishna is from the humility platform. Otherwise, it's not possible to understand God Himself. We whatever we have is coming from the Supreme Person Himself. It's not something we concocted, something splat comes out. It doesn't work that way. It's not like that. So openly he admits to Narada, if you continue reading, that he's not the ultimate creator. So that's a good sign. That means our Acharya in this lineage, Brahma, the firstborn, he is showing us, become humble. Then you will be able to understand. Actually, when you read the Bhagavatam, sometimes you don't understand. You should pray and say, Lord, I can't understand. But I know you know that I need to know. If you think I need to know, you give me that ability. Yeah. If not, I'm okay with that. Or then one day you may hear some other devotee answering, and you're like, oh, that's what it means. Yeah, like that. Yeah. So this modern world, everyone wants to take credit for, I created this, I created that, inventions, ideas. But here you can see. Brahma is saying, I'm not the cause of the creation. But he does say that he's empowered to create. So he's actually a secondary creator. He's not the supreme creator. So another thing, Srila Prabhupada, if you read, he says this is the ideal mood of a leader. So if you want to take a leadership role, then you must have this mood. Because if you cultivate such mentality and humility, then you can attract others, and then you can empower others also. A leader shouldn't covet the position and control. And so he cannot advance the consciousness of the others. It's not possible. You can't increase their understanding by being a person who suppresses them. The nature of the entity, living being, is he wants to be loved. But if you are suppressing, then he feels rejected and dejected, and so much so he's not able to hear, nor can he learn properly. Yeah. So everything, matter, time, energy, consciousness, everything is coming from the Supreme Personality of God. Janmadi asya yataha. The very first verse in the Bhagavatam, you all should try to memorize it. Because what that aphorism or that verse says is everything comes from Krishna. And if you are not convinced, Krishna personally says in the Bhagavad Gita, right? Aham sarvasya prabhu matta sarvam pravartate. He makes it very clear. I am the source of both matter and spirit. Very clear. No need to argue. Right? But yet you find people who argue because they are not humble. They're very arrogant here. Although everything comes from him, right? He also says in the Bhagavad Gita, I am in everything and everything is in me, but they are not in me. So this is another instruction, or I would say another point that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. It stems from the Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva principle. Okay? That simultaneously we are the same, but we are different at the same time. Right? What does it mean? I am also the same nature as Krishna, spirit in nature. Matter is also an energy of Krishna, but transformed. But still it's energy of Krishna. So simultaneously it is an energy of Krishna, but it is different. So similarly, I am also an expansion of Krishna. Mama Ivangso Jivaloka, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, eternal nature. So we are also Sachidananda. Krishna is also Sachidananda. He is infinite, I am finite. Yeah. So when we have clarity in that understanding, then we should say, why am I not seeing him everywhere? Where's my relationship? Then your desire to pursue can grow. If it's wanting. If it's not, then it may not. Yeah. Okay. So the example Srila Prabhupada gives in many places is like the sun creates both heat and light, but it remains untouched by the things it illuminates. Right? The sun is out there, but the light is sitting there. And the sun can burn in any place, both clean place as well as dirty places. But the sun is not affected at all. But on the contrary, the sun purifies even the dirty places. So that is the way the Supreme Lord. Or another example Prabhupada gives is a king may oversee a prison, but he is not the prisoner. Right? He can walk into the prison and walk out. Nobody will stop him. I don't know about ICE. Maybe they'll catch him. Say you are alien, you cannot come to America. So in the same way, the Lord creates innumerable universes, but He remains beyond it. Okay, He is not. And the material energy also was working under Him. Maya dekshena prakriti suyate sa charachara. Right? Under my supervision, the material energy is working. It's not working on its own, it's my supervision. So again, every time you read these verses, you ask yourself, it's under Krishna's control. He is supreme, I'm not. I can't even control my headache. Or if I have to go to the bathroom, I can't control. Yeah, so we have to give in to the nature. But He is the supreme controller. And Srila Prabhupada gives other analogies like the machine may run automatically, but then someone has to start the machine. Yeah. So the nature is like the material energy is put on auto, but someone started the nature. It's a very complicated, it's beyond our understanding because mostly you write programs for some software to run a system wide. But there's someone controlling and every day must make sure. But this is even more complicated, the material nature, the energy, because it's so refined and detailed that when you die, it can access and assess your next birth. It can give you the body accordingly. This is what you deserve. Yeah. Right? So So therefore, nature is the machine, but the Supreme Lord is the engineer. Yeah? You make sure this is how you work. Yeah. So mostly, these are important things, as I say. Why? Because you'll find people always they're going to come and ask you, where did the universe come from? Right? So do you know how creation started? Glancing potency, all this in sequence? You all should know. Go back and look at it and study it. Or is everything random? Right? Random. If it's random, then why we don't get random creation? Right? Why everything is stuck now? Why there's no more? They will give you some reason. We are not ready for the next expansion or something like that. Yeah. Or they'll say, if God exists, why can't we see Him? We can see Him. He's in the Archa Vigraha. The problem is people want to have God, Supreme Lord, talking to them. But then, can you talk to the president? Nobody has access to the president, although there's a president. Right? So similarly, access to God is not so cheap. You must become qualified. And then the Lord will give you the audience. Otherwise, you cannot demand that, It doesn't work that way. Yeah. And then the other argument people say is the consciousness is a product of matter. But I give you all the chemicals to the scientists. How come they can't create anything conscious? They'll say, next time I'll do. Right? That's the argument, next time. How many years already? The same chemicals that was discovered in the 60s or 50s or 40s, 1940s. And they're still looking at the chemicals. They still can't produce anything. Right? So, all these are important for us to appreciate. Just like this building, it didn't just came up automatically. Right? You didn't drive around and say, hey, that's a nice house, I will get it. It just popped up, boop, like that. No, somebody spent the energy. Some architect came, designed it, then the engineers came, put the structures and so on, right? Then the contractor came, put the concrete and sheetrock, everything, make it as cheap as possible, and then they sell it as expensive as hell. And then you feel happy, they feel happy. Yeah. This is life. Right? So you can't say, everything has an effect and there's a cause behind everything. Yeah. And just like a painting also. Oh, no painting. So anyway, we have some painting over there. Somebody painted it. It didn't just appear. So Newton, right? Newton, was it Newton? Yeah, I think Newton. He was talking about the gravitational forces and how everything is revolving around the sun. And there was argument with his colleagues and so on. So he said that he told them to come next day, and then he built the universe, how the planets was going around the sun. So next day when they came, the friends saw the model, and he was going, and then they say, wow, who made it? He said, it just appeared. And then they were saying, how can it appear? Somebody must have done it. And he said, no. And then they kept arguing. Then finally he said, then you say the whole universe came on its own. Why can't this come on its own? Yeah. Right? Right? Every day you come home, you have a nice prasadam, Who cooked? No, it just appeared. Mom didn't cook, dad didn't cook. Just appeared. Right? If things just appear when you want something, it'll be boring actually. Think about it, right? As jiva, we need relationship. If you don't have relationship, you'll get really crazy. And just like your smartphone, someone designed it to destroy your life. So, well, you can use it for the right reason, but mostly people don't know how to use because they don't understand their relationship with God. The smartphone and all, if it's not used, then you become more and more relatable to the material world rather than to the Supreme. So if you use it properly and you know the purpose of phones and so on, why you should use, how much you should use, instead of looking for TikTok, Instagram, what else they have? So many things they do. Yeah, all that is waste of time. A lot of time you waste. YouTube, right? I think they say like how many 18 billion per day, transactions going on in YouTube. So all of you are contributing to it. So restrict yourself. If it's only Krishna consciousness, then it's fine. But then YouTube algorithm is such that it'll throw something to entice you, and then you think, let me look at that. Right? So let's say you look for a recipe, then it says something else. That some monkey did something in India, then you click on that. And then from there it goes to hell, Right, so Brahma's point here is that that there is a person behind creation. It's not a void. Sometimes people argue it's nothing and something suddenly come up. How? Even in the law of conservation of energy, there must be a beginning also, right? So where is that source? So they don't know. But suddenly Big Bang, where did the original thing came out? What they call it? The singularity. Where did it come from? Oh, that we don't want to ask now. So you can see there's no randomness. There's no blind choice, right? You are here because you made a choice. So there's no blind choice. You decided, I want to know. So you are here. And therefore, everything is coming from a conscious, intelligent source. Just like you are making choices, how can your own abilities be coming randomly? An intelligent person, an intelligent scientist, they know. Actually, the scientists know. But because they are all stuck in this system, where if they make noise, they will lose their career and so on. So they are all afraid to take a chance. Okay? So Brahma's humility here is a model for us, as I mentioned earlier. And we can be talented, but the source of our talent is not our own. It's coming from the Supreme Person. Intelligence, creativity, strength, memory, skills, opportunities, they are all coming from the Supreme Lord's blessings. Yeah, it's not that we have even the jiva, we are all expansions of Krishna. So the Lord has put certain qualities of His nature into us. So everything is His, actually. Yeah, if you have certain skills, it's actually His. Yeah, He's the most skillful. So He give you a little bit. You are good at decoration. Everyone say, "Oh, so you're good at baking. Oh, you're so great baking." But it's all coming from the Lord or His expansion, Srimati Radharani. So whatever we have, we should understand it's a gift from the Supreme Lord. If someone comes to the temple or to your home wanting to know about Krishna consciousness, you should understand they are guests of the Lord, the guests of your deities. And there's an opportunity for you to help them understand their relationship. Maybe they are not willing to listen, that's okay, but you can always give them prasadam to help them in their journey. Yeah? So if you accept this, then basically what Srila Prabhupada wants us to transform is that if we are arrogant and we accept this, then we turn this arrogance into gratitude. Thinking, I know everything. Now we think, oh, the Lord has given me this. Yeah. And then instead of stressing over your life, you learn how to surrender. Right? Mostly we stress, thinking we can fix it, but we stress. But if you surrender, no more stress. Life becomes a little bit more easier, actually. And that helps you to transform. Because you're connecting with the Supreme, so transformation becomes easier. Okay? And then rather than having competition, you learn to cooperate. Yeah. Cooperation is actually healthy for all of us. Then we become more loving, respecting one another. And so that's a very good thing to have. So Prabhupada also says a devotee never thinks I'm a doer. Rather he thinks Krishna is using me as his instrument. Nimitta matram. This is in the 11th chapter, Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. So when you accept all this, it's actually really liberating. I don't have to do all this. I have so many others to help me. Yeah. It's actually liberating. It's a real liberation. Because you now understand I'm not part of this material nature. I'm actually a servant of Krishna. Why am I entangling with everything in this world? Let me hone my lifestyle such a way that I can give it up and go back to Godhead. At least, if not in this life, maybe in the next life. But that intention and that one-pointedness can only take place if you do your sadhana bhakti properly and not have too much of these material things in your life. That you need this, you need that. I need a home that has 4.2 bedrooms and then 1.8 child. I don't know how they calculate, but right, things like that. Or 2 pets. Why? But these are the statistics. 2 cars, 4 cars. Why? All these are materially driven, so they call it capitalism. But capitalism means you just spend. And then capitalism means you must owe. Then your credit rating is high. Don't make sense, but that's how it is. Yeah. So this is how life is in this world. Yeah. So, to recap, God is the source, the maintainer, and the ultimate shelter. No one else can give us full shelter. Yeah. Of course, devotees, advanced devotees can. Material energy is not independent. It is also dependent on the Supreme Lord. Maya Daksha Prakriti Suyati Sacha. It's under his supervision. We are just like the Supreme Lord, but we are individuals. Natu evaham jatunasam natuam nemi janadipaha na chaivana vishamaye sarve vayam ataha param. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings. Oh, Arjuna. Right? You know the whole Bhagavad Gita. Right? Why I am telling you this? So material nature, God is like fire, we are like sparks in the fire, and the material nature is the smoke and the heat. So that's why we are covered. We don't know our origin and where we should fall and so on. Yeah. So when you understand this clearly, then you will know also you're not the controllers, you're not the owners. You have to give up this one day. All this. What are you going to do? You write the will also, big deal, Your children can sell it, You say, don't sell, I love this. Yes, mama, yes, papa. And then the next day, hey, how much? Put the sign outside. It's a fact. You can't control everything. So as I said, again, when you are clear, you won't be so much in anxiety. So you should see this world, a material world, an opportunity, a place that is sacred for you. Or if you can't see it, make a sacred space in your life so that you can at least have a communion or attempt to communicate with the Supreme Lord. So you have a altar in the home, make your home into a temple like that. And then see whatever is happening in your life is happening because the Lord is sanctioning and because of choices you made. And don't blame others for your choices. It's difficult, but you have to train. In the beginning you blame the whole universe, then later you'll blame the whole world. Then as you get more advanced, some people you blame. Then hopefully by the time you die, you blame yourself. Right? But all this can only take place if you can cultivate humility. Yeah. Then you can do that. And then you can understand the Supreme Lord. Okay, I'll stop here. I'll take some comments, questions, reflections. Reflection you can. Give her the mic.
One reflection from your class.
You have to speak louder and closer. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes.
One reflection I had from your class is that whatever talent or skill that we have is always coming from Krishna. So we should be grateful for Krishna whenever.
Nice. Nice. Thank you. Yeah. Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I just have a question around the point that everything comes from Krishna, but when we think about like kids who come to our family, they also come through Krishna to us. So what is the way that we need to be approaching towards them to help them grow? And also you made a point that we shouldn't look at controlling them, but approach them in the form of love so that they can grow. So, I mean, in the two ways, like how do we kind of like think about emphasizing the love and also helping them grow without the control that we kind of put?
I mentioned it in the class. Any time you have your children and so on, they are not yours, first of all. That they are actually gifts from the Supreme Lord. So you're not the person who brought them. The Lord has given this jiva to take care. Obviously, as a parent, you can have affection and so on, but it shouldn't overwhelm your understanding that they are yours. You can have love, you can have all those things, but your goal should always be how I can connect them to the Supreme Lord. In whatever ways you can, you have to see how I can connect them with Krishna.
But kids could make different choices that may
Kids,
not...
yeah, they will. But your job is to... You have to do your best, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. And with affection and love, you can always guide them from a young age and say, this is what I was taught or what I learned, and I believe in this, and I want to share this with you. And I can't force you. Be honest about it, but you can talk to them about karma, how karma works and so on. And so if you make bad choices, you will have to reap the reactions from it. Yeah. So that's one thing. The other thing is when you yourself practice properly, your children will see that when you speak, they will know you are not making up something. It's coming from your experience. So this practice of Krishna consciousness is experiential. You experience it. You know what it can give you. And so, especially children, they watch the parents and they'll say, yeah, okay, they are doing it. If they don't do and they tell them, they will say, hypocrites. Yeah. So then they will rebel. Yeah. So you should be chanting nicely, 16 rounds, following regulative principles, coming to the temple as often as you can. Balance it with your work life and so on, family and so on. And choices in your life that comes, you have to see, if I make this choice, how close it brings me to Krishna or how far I'm going to go away from Krishna. And then you have to also see, is it worth it? Will I be accepting this in 20 years' time and can live peacefully with this choice, right? So, oftentimes we make choices, but we don't think through carefully. It's mostly based on impulsive and the senses. But a devotee means he or she is thinking for the pleasure of the Lord, the devotees, for their own spiritual growth. If those are there, then you can make good choices. And if you are not able to make good choice, then go and look for devotees who can help you, who are like-minded, and then they can assist you in such cases. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Satya Rupa Gauranga.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you for a wonderful class.
Hare Krishna.
So my question is like once kids go to high school,
Are you in high school now?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, like they are overwhelming with their work, so much work they need to explore and all do. So they are busy with their material things and education, whatnot. So how they can balance, because that is the good enough gap so that they will go away or move away from the Krishna consciousness. Maybe it is there, but they cannot do sadhana. So can
yeah, I agree with you. But generally, from high school onwards, you don't force the child to chant 16 rounds or something like that. Minimum should be 4 rounds on a daily basis. One before breakfast, one after breakfast, one before dinner, one after dinner. So it's only half an hour maximum, and they should be easy for them, and they won't complain. That's one thing. The other thing is, as parents, all of you should also know not all your children are the same. Right? Maybe because your practices, you have to understand you're all like magnets also, So in your practices and your consciousness and your husband's consciousness, together you attract a jiva that will take birth in your womb or like that. So that jiva may have his or her own complex problems, karma and so on. But as I mentioned to you, that you have to give the tools necessary for them to be successful in their spiritual life. Materially, they will be able to, based on their spiritual advancement, they will make good choices. Having said that, as I mentioned, a child may have his or her karma, they'll make their choices also based on that also. So you should be ready to accept also. Or you can, not in an antagonistic way, but rather you can ask them why they made that choice, And then you can also recognize where their desires have propelled them or made them make choices. Yeah. And you should be willing to accept that this is a choice they are going to continue to make in life, right? Just like when Dhritarashtra saw Duryodhana trying to kill his own cousin, he didn't say, don't stop, right? He said, continue because it is in my favor also. So similarly, as a devotee parents, you should understand this is a choice they're going to make, But as long you can say, you can make some statements also. Okay, you want to live your life, okay, but just stay at least vegetarian or something like that. And hopefully you come, once a week or once a month to the temple or something like that. If they still come around, then something is working, yeah. But if they abandon that and do their own thing, then you can only pray for them after that, yeah. But you cannot live your life hoping that they'll become a devotee, At a certain time in your own life, you can pray and say, my Lord, I did what I can. I know I did my best to make them a devotee, but this is the result. And I ask for forgiveness that I could not bring them to your lotus feet. And please don't let me hanker after them. Let me be at peace, and so I can continue serving you. And so if you have that consciousness, if you iron out and think in that way, I'm sure Krishna has blessed you. And if you are a good devotee, he will protect your children. Right? vahami aham, I will carry what they lack, I will support what you have. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. Any
Hare.
ladies? Yeah. Shika.
Yeah. Can I ask one?
Prabhu has a question.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much for the class. I have a question. You said in the class, if something appears confusing or contradictory, like the fault is not in Vedas but in our understanding, right? But oftentimes I feel the line between the two is very subtle, like where the fault is at. How can one develop the inner clarity and humility to confidently conclude that limitation is in us and not in the Vedas, and use that realization to increase surrender rather than doubt?
Yeah, nice question. The thing is, you may not know it at the beginning when you are starting. Generally, even when we come to spiritual culture and wanting to adopt, we are very arrogant to begin with. Therefore, the outset is already there. The parameters by which we are operating is to think, I should know this. Why is this? That confusion is already there. Conflicting understanding is already there. Clarity can't take place at that because the humility is not there. Yeah. So what to do? So you need to associate more. Chant more, and you see, when you can only pray when you are humble, actually. So when you say how humility can take place when you're confused, just like Brahma, he was confused, but when he heard tapa, he took shelter of that. So maybe we can't align with the devotees who are around us, but we can align with Brahma and say, this guy is the creator and he surrendered. Right? So maybe I should also follow something, and I will chant better. They are saying, devotees say chanting is good, so let me try that. So that attempt to want to learn is also humility. A surrendering process is not just, you go there in front and fall down. That is not real surrender, actually. Anyone can do that. Real surrender is internal, actually. Taking up the desire to chant the names of Lord is the very first sign that you are surrendering. And then, based on that, reading Prabhupada's books and trying to understand what he's trying to say is also surrendering. Going forward and asking different devotees what is their understanding and to see how you can make sense of it is also another level of surrendering. So if you can incorporate those behaviors in such that you accept that I actually don't know these things and these people seem to know something, let me, without losing my pride, ask them some questions. That's the beginning. Then later on you will become very humble also. You will appreciate that these people or these devotees or the Bhagavatam, they know better than me. Actually, I'm not so advanced. Although I'm a CEO, I'm a fool in front of all these people. Yeah. So it's time related, but it's also directly related to your willingness to take a lower status or position in wanting to understand. Yeah. So a few factors are necessary. And then also, how often do you take prasadam? Most of the time, devotees don't take prasadam. They go outside, they eat, and then they think they can know Krishna. Yeah. It's not going to work. Those who eat outside, that means you're already not developing determination. You're giving in to your senses. Therefore, Krishna says, Eke Nanda Guru, Eke. One point. then only your vyavasayadmika buddhi can take place. Otherwise, no. It is that intention, that focus that will allow you to come to the point of saying, I have to surrender. Surrender means doing service in ISKCON temple, not just read the book and chant. That is service, but the better service is to work with devotees. Because they can help us in different ways. Right? Yes, Shika. Give her the microphone. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Maharaj, looking for some guidance from you. You were talking about YouTube and technology, and when I reflect on my life, I'm on YouTube for like 3 hours, 4 hours. I mean, YouTube, Desire Tree, something, and I say, oh, I'm listening to everything spiritual. But what I'm realizing is that I have so many books. And I'm not reading the books myself. And I mean, I do get on a japa call. Like everything has to be with technology. Like if we have to just chant, we can wake up and chant, but we have to get on a japa call. If we have to read Bhagavatam, we have to get on a call at 11:30 to join Bhagavatam. Is it the right way to do it, or somewhere we have got so used to dialing in on our phone that we need discipline also, like through phone? And second thing, Maharaj, which I'm realizing is that as I'm reading in a group, my reflection is not there because I'm reading at a speed, and if I'm not understood, I'm not stopping, like, or the group is not stopping. So any guidance, Maharaj?
All right. You need to, I mean, there's many ways. One suggestion I would give is restrict your time on the media. No doubt you say, I'm listening to so many things, but if you listen, does it transform you? Have you changed? How much have you changed? You have to reflect on those things, That's one thing. The other thing is, if you're going to be at 11 in the night listening to Bhagavatam, then when do you get your rest? When do you get to do your seva in the morning, You need to take care of your health also, otherwise you're not balanced actually. Most people think they are balanced because they are doing everything. But no, you need to have your balance, means you have to proper rest, proper reading time. It's nice to read with others because it's an impetus to want to read. But it's not dependent on them reading and I'm just passive, So you should also read, and then you take a notepad or what and write down what you understand. Do you have a journal? Keep a journal on what you read. What are your reflections like that? But if you say you have no reflections after so many years, then what's going through there? Right? So you need to reflect now on what you should be reflecting. So then it may help you. And then the second question was...
Should we be like just sitting and reflecting and reading by ourselves? Like, I think that was my question, Maharaj. And I make tons of notes, but I never feel like going back to my notes. I mean, I tried making electronic notes. I tried making handwritten notes. I like when I'm writing with my hand.
Anyway, you keep a journal. If you are reflecting, just make a journal. But I think all this you need to go back and look and see how far you have progressed or regressed. Right? And then you can then decide, is it helping you or not? I think I'm thinking maybe because you're a more technocrat, you want to do this, you feel more comfortable. I did it using this, and you're comfortable. Yeah? But as I said, you should see how much do you hanker to go back to Godhead? How much are you hankering to do service? Mostly when you chant and read, the impetus to want to serve should be the first thing. Because Jivera Swarup Hoy, Krishnera Nityadas. What does that mean? He is eternally servant. So servant, how much are you serving? Right? How much are you serving the Lord? If those things don't manifest, then you are not doing things properly. Yeah, that means there's something you are missing out, or you're not chanting properly. You can do other things. Instead of always going on Japa conference, you can just sit down. You say it's very difficult, but you sit in front of the deities. They're so beautiful. Why is it so difficult? And chant. And you can record your chanting and then listen to your chanting and see how many times you are missing out Hare, Rama and Krishna. Right? And then you fix it. Right? Because problems come because we don't chant properly. That's the fundamental thing, is we don't chant properly, and then we don't know how to surrender. This is all part of our purification. That's why he came, Patita Pavana. He came to help us go back. So I hope that helps you.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. One second, Maharaj. Maharaj, as you were explaining about how child can be in Krishna consciousness, so Srila Prabhupada has mentioned in Canto 10, Chapter 3, Slok 33. So Prabhupada was mentioning, I'm just repeating that.
Yeah, sure.
So if one is determined to make spiritual advancement, he will not beget a child unless able to make that child a devotee. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 5, Slok 18. Pitana Shashyat. One should not become a father unless one is able to protect his child from Mrityu, the path of birth and death. But where is their education about this? A responsible father never begets children like cats and dogs. Instead of being encouraged to adopt artificial means of birth control, people should be educated in Krishna consciousness, because only then will they understand their responsibility to their children. If one can beget children who will be devotees and be taught to turn aside from the path of birth and death, Mrityu Samsara Vartmani, there is no need of birth control. Rather, one should be encouraged to beget children. Artificial means of birth control have no value, whether one begets children or does not. A population of men who are like cats and dogs will never make human society happy. It is therefore necessary for people to be educated spiritually, so that instead of begetting children like cats and dogs, they will undergo austerities to produce devotees. These will make their lives successful.
Thank you. Very nice. Prabhupada is to the point. The problem that is true, but then you have people who join the movement with children already. And then you have devotees who don't read Prabhupada's books and have children also. So it is important to have good association, the association will tell you this is wrong, don't do this way and so on. Because nowadays people don't read books at all. Very difficult to get devotees to read also. But they all want to go and have bhava, prema and so on. But Hare, you don't even know how to read Prabhupada's book. You don't even chant properly. So therefore service is important, because it purifies you to come to understand. I have to know all these things. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Maharaj. Shikha Mataji is going to give a quick summary of your class.
Who?
Shikha Mataji. And the thank you note as well. I thought Pankaj Prabhu informed. Oh, okay. Looks like there is something going on between them.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for your holy presence. So Maharaj, what you taught us today is that Krishna is the source and creator of everything. The material energy is within the control of Krishna. We are part and parcel of Krishna, and we are the spark and he's the light. And material energy is that smoke which covers us. And Maharaj, I really liked what Samanvita also said in the class, and which you taught us today, that whatever talents we have is actually coming from Him. And He has it all, and He is giving us a spark of it. Using technology wisely, it's something which you also taught us, the importance of service and staying in the association and being mindful, Maharaj. So thank you, Maharaj, for your wonderful class, Maharaj. Thank you. And me and my husband are personally blessed, Maharaj, because I remember, I want to say, Mataji, Satyasa Prabhu and Mataji, I think it was 2019 when we started the Bhakti Shastri class, and Maharaj came to bless all of us. And at that point of time, I asked the question from Maharaj, Maharaj, what does Vaishnava mean? Because we kept talking about being Vaishnava, and I had just come into Krishna consciousness, and Maharaj very nicely explained it to me without getting irritated. And from there, Maharaj, my association with you started 2021. We had the blessing that you did the deity welcoming ceremony for Gopal Rajji, and throughout, Maharaj, you have given us blessings and your association and guidance, and with a lot of humility, and Maharaj with a lot of love and care for our family. So thank you, Maharaj. Personally very blessed.
Thank you. Thank you, Pankaj. Thank you. And your two daughters, right? Yeah.
Sivi and Vandya, they have a class going on, 8:30 to 12:30. So
they take turns or what? Anyway. Hare Krishna.
And we wanted to thank all the devotees as well. Like you said, Maharaj, like home only becomes an ashram when we have devotees association, and very, very blessed to have everybody's association.
Yeah, nice. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.